Hello everybody, Senior Engineer, MBA, and investor. And in today's video, I want to talk about Ginkgo Bioworks' latest earnings report. I want to dive deep into their presentation. I want to take a look at their numbers. I want to give my thoughts. And I also want to take a look at a thread from our famous user, Biotech2K1. I'm going to do all of that in this video for you guys. Now, before we do that, you guys know exactly what I will ask you. Destroy that like button. It's free, it's quick, it's easy, really helps this channel. You guys know how the YouTube algorithms work. It really works like that, guys. The more likes you have, the more shared the video is, the more this video appears to other users, and then the algorithms kick off, and then that's just a flywheel effect, right? And if you haven't subscribed yet, please consider subscribing. Just a quick update. I did mention that as this channel gets monetized, the plan really is to either invest 100% or half of it in genomics slash CRISPR companies, and invest it or donate it to charities. I've already sort of been thinking about it. It's going to be a big project to be determined, so no decision taken yet, but I'm sort of leaning towards the idea of making an account, investing in CRISPR companies, making it public for you guys, so you guys are part of that journey, and you guys know that all that ad revenue is actually reinvested in genomics and CRISPR companies. And the end goal really there is that once these companies, we believe, not financial advice, but we believe in this channel that they will 100x from here on in market cap value. All of that capital gain, all of those gains hopefully could be in one day donated back to whatever charity we end up deciding. This is, again, a long-term play. This is the end game. Don't expect this to happen in the next 6 months, like the idea of 100x, not financial advice. I'm talking about years and years and decade potentially, of course. So just keep that in mind. So in today's video, I wanted to cover Ginkgo Bioworks' earnings report, and I did promise I would cover it to some of my viewers, and here it is. The company, just as a high level stock price, it's been trading sideways, right? It just went de-SPAC. It didn't go IPO through the traditional way. It actually went through a SPAC merger late September, right? So we're still early. We're barely 2 months into this company being in the public market. It's going to be up and downs. Inside shares will be sold. I mean, you'll see all of that traditional FUD from these types of companies, high tech companies that are growing, or at least aiming to grow really fast. You have all these short sellers attacking them, including Scorpion Capital. You guys all saw what happened with that. In fact, you can clearly see that in mid-October, it had a huge decline in like less than 24 hours. That was crazy, but obviously trading sideways. But as you can see, the earnings report didn't really skyrocket this company, or it didn't really drop it that much, right? Obviously, like I said, it's still too early for us to say any sort of comment. Again, it is trading at $26 billion market cap. Just that's a lot, right? Again, I understand the future potential. I understand all of that. Trust me, I come from a background that actually value tech companies as their future potentials, right? I don't look at them today. I definitely don't even look at them in the next few weeks or few months. I look at them in 5, 8, 10 years, right? So I can see a narrative there, but just keep that in mind. That is the current market cap as they trade today. So their earnings report, obviously a couple of leadership board here that presented their information, including the CEO and founder that we've covered in this channel, Jason Kelly. And really their idea, their mission is to make biology easier to engineer, right? Moving atoms to atoms, right? So where we went from the past decades, really since the 90s, we went from moving bits to bits, right? Information to information in bits format, right? Through the internet. But what Jason Kelly and his team, and in many other companies, including CRISPR companies, they believe that you can move atoms to atoms, right? Instead of thinking it through the internet, you apply everything you've learned in the internet with the App Store, with software, with iOS, Windows operating system, Linux, all that software jargon, and move it and shift it and translate it to a framework where you can apply it in biology. And I find that very interesting. Again, coming from a software engineering background, that is definitely interesting to me, and I know to many others as well. So obviously some recent highlights, this company, the biggest one really in my opinion was the Kronos one. They own equity of the company. They revised their partnership. I think that's just amazing. And obviously going public, they were able to raise a lot of cash, and that is cash in the bank. You definitely want that as a high tech company that's growing and burning R&D expenses and all sorts of related expenses. So now if you take a look at some of their programs, clearly you can see year to date. If you look at some year to date numbers from 2020 to 2021, so on the same span from last year compared to this year, they grew 21 versus 15, so that 40% increase. Then you're looking at a total active program from 61 to 48. Active customers, you're looking at 30 versus 23, a growth of 30%. And then you're looking at the foundry revenue, which is about 84% up. Really interesting, right? Really, really interesting. That is good numbers. You want to see those types of numbers. And I love visuals. You guys know I love graphs. I'm a simple man that loves graphs, you know. So yeah, I mean, this is what they're looking like. Biosecurity is something that the CEO has mentioned in the past in their podcast with, I think it was Business Insider. The podcast episode was Moderna, the software of life or the organism of life, something along those lines. But Jason Kelly was giving an interview, ironically, in Moderna's Focus podcast episode. But he actually mentioned that biosecurity, with what happened with the pandemic, this is what companies, institutions, governments, communities are looking at, being proactive rather than reactive, right? So just think about that. And that's exactly why they have a whole slide for that, right? So clearly their revenue has grown as well for that portion compared to previous quarters. And then if you take a look again, their foundry revenue here grew 202% year over year. That is amazing, right? That is just amazing from 3 months ending September 30th, obviously 84% from 9 months, which is what we talked about. But again, these numbers are going to fluctuate. One thing to know is their loss from operations, right? Let's take a look at total operating expenses, right? So that number did grow, right? You want to keep your eyes on expenses. Makes sense. You're growing fast. You need to purchase more things, and that those things will be expenses. It just makes sense. Considering you have more headcount as well, makes total sense to me. But clearly you can see that the net loss actually grew, right? So the first thing when you see these type of numbers, you may be taken back, and especially if you're coming from an environment where you're used to seeing 5-10% growth, and you're looking at losses that fluctuate from 2 to 4% max due to inflation and so on. But if you're in these types of companies, you cannot expect small numbers, guys. You have to expect big numbers as this company has gone public, as they are sort of unveiling their future program, future partnership. They have to invest in headcount. That is not just research and lab. We're talking about G&A. We're talking about administration, HR, marketing. You're talking about all sorts of departments. Those are a lot of costs, right? And all of these trade shows, they are not paid by themselves, right? It doesn't work like that. You have to put up a big money to set up these big trade shows, bring in customers, bring in potential customers. You want to get your company in front of the face of customers. Makes total sense, right? So I'm not surprised about that. Revised full year 2021 outlook 2030 program at least 100 million, and biosecurity at least 110 million, right? And this is some of the things that Jason Kelly, I know he always talks about that. They're really, their horizontal business model, independent review of a business is healthy. We design deals to meet the needs of our customers and set up for success. We treat claims of financial misconduct seriously. We conducted a throughout independent investigation by a top independent law. We'll go back to this, but I do believe this is a reference to the whole situation saga with Scorpion Capital, with the short selling of earlier last month. I'm sure you guys remember when I covered that video. Clearly, maybe it wasn't, right. Maybe I'm just thinking too much into it. So yeah, so obviously that's what they're talking about, the horizontal platform, going from companies like Chronos, right, all the way to smaller companies, right, there's startups, right, like Motive, Verbiotics. I haven't heard of it, some of these companies, to be honest with you. But Biogen, obviously I've heard of it. Obviously Chronos, obviously. So couple of names there. Again, I've covered this company in the past. We went through their presentation, corporate presentation, as they went IPO, before they went IPO. So we were quite aware of some of this information. So um, audit committee review, this is about their investigation they just mentioned, right? So, and then they go through some of their flexibility that the company offers. And really, their idea is, in exchange to their talent or technology, they can hopefully get not just revenue, but equity in the company. The same thing what happened with Ginkgo Bioworks, with Kronos, right? So our goal is to increase the pace of innovation. So obviously, they're talking about, they want to innovate, right? They're all in the cell development. They're all in like moving atoms to atoms. I keep repeating that phrase, but that's basically what this company is trying to bet on, right? Because if they cannot do that, then there's no point of this company, really. That's the whole point of this company. You can move atoms to atom, reduce costs, increase efficiency for some of these companies, including companies like Kronos. So quite interesting, right? Quite interesting. So let's take a look if we can. Yeah, you see, you get product type. I like these types of table matrices. Really, really interesting product type. You can see the Kronos one, small molecule, fungal. You can see the organism. That takes me back to my biology courses. That's pretty cool. And yeah, this is something they're betting on, right? This is, you have to think about the big picture when you think about these companies. That's why I keep mentioning, if you're looking at these companies like week over week or month over month, you're going to be left out, guys. Like, you need to look at the big picture. And again, it may be just a dream, right? It may be an unmet dream that people will always be chasing, and you'll be chasing at something that the company never reaches. But that's why you have to do your own research, right? That's why you have to double down and see if they can realize this type of world that we're looking at, right? A world where it is modified atoms to atom. The moment you can move atoms to atom, guys, I'll be honest with you, you can do anything in this planet, right? We think internet is a huge unlock. It is, right? It just disrupted industries, created jobs, created opportunities, connected people from all around the world, connected researchers, connected entrepreneurs, and also of artists. But the idea to just look at this is so beautiful. Like how can you be bearish about a company that is trying to make this type of world for us to live in? I mean, if you're one of those technocrats, or I don't even know the term for it, but you gotta love this, right? You gotta love these types of slides, this type of mission, this type of vision. And I think if one of these companies can do it, I truly believe DNA, Jason Kelly and his team can definitely do it. They keep reiterating that they want to, be the organism of life, right? It's changing the way we perceive companies, the role of a company, right? If they can achieve that, it no longer becomes just, making cool gadgets and making nice stuff. You're actually changing the world for the better. I don't know about the dinosaurs part. Yeah, maybe if they're friendly, but you get the point, right? So take a look at the thread from Biotech 2K1 here. And we'll go really fast over this because I'm already way over time here. But I think the company is really awesome, but the valuation is the most bubbly I've ever seen in my life. They will do about 300 million revenues this year at 25 billion. That gives them a .com level price to sales, so 83.com, obviously referencing to the 2000 .com era where all sorts of internet companies were worth billions of dollars, including pets.com. I don't know if you guys remember that. But the company reports in two divisions. The first is Foundry, which is the main part of their business. Second is Biosecurity, which is their COVID testing business, which makes up 52% of total sales already. Makes sense. COVID is basically the hot topic the past almost 1 year and a half, basically. And it would make sense that anything and everything with COVID would be the majority of this business. In this case, only 52. I would expect a lot more, but looks like Foundry is still making some good money here and there. The Foundry is broken in two parts, with technology and database coding with genetic cells. The other part is automation and development of products with engineered cells. This concept of taking a yeast cell or bacteria and turning it into a tiny factory to produce a substance for cell or manufacturing. The other part is engineering microbes for probiotics or other industrial uses. The editing part is altering a genome of the organism. It's about the genetics, it's editing and database of what those edits translate into, right? So obviously they have to have data, right? To commit to all of that, to conduct all of that, they need to have data. They need to have these manufacturing plants, this technology that they can bet on to edit those specific genes, right? To create their industrial uses and applications, right? The mechanical part of Foundry is about automation and scale of manufacturing the products from the engineer organism. Over the past years, since 2015, they increased the scale of Foundry 3x and reduced cost 50%. Obviously, economies of scale there. The bigger their scale and the lower their cost, the more business they can attract as prices come down. It's all about having enough scale to make this available to the masses for companies, basically economies of scale. Some of these use mean engineering microbes in agriculture, engineering proteins in plant-based meats, creating enzyme used in waste disposal, create reagents for beauty and healthcare, make enzymes for use in pharmaceuticals. This is the best using technology and automation to take genetic engineering to the purpose of engineering organisms for commercial use across so many industries. As long as they can drive up the skill, drive down cost enough, this could be a whole new industry in the future. I think DNA is the favorite based on their technology, but there are several out there in the space. I just wish that was expanded on. Obviously, a lot of information there, especially for people that have never been exposed to this company. Beautifully written here by Biotech 2K1, especially that number 8 tweet here. If you engineer microbes for agriculture use, engineer proteins, replace plant-based meats, waste disposal, beauty and healthcare. Guys, beauty is a crazy industry. I know I'm like skipping over all the other ones. I know a lot of guys, actually most people that watch this channel, unfortunately or fortunately, I don't know what are my thoughts of that on yet, but most people that watch this channel are male, right? And if you guys knew what is the business for beauty, you guys would be blown away, right? And it is a whole big industry. Okay, this is a crazy industry. And if Ginkgo Bioworks can do something about that and partner up with the giants in this space, and don't forget, guys, we are moving in a society and in a generation where we are conscious about what we're eating, what we're putting on, whether that's the textile, whether that's animal, is it actually how the animals have been treated, the whole organic movement, the whole idea of plant-based meat, the whole idea of healthcare moving toward a new generation, a new era, and of course, agriculture, right? So many people in this world, especially in Africa and in less developed nations, don't even have a full meal every day. Absolutely mind-boggling. And to me, any company that can seriously work on this, maybe not directly, but as long as they can actually provide technology for other companies to come up with and use that technology, of course, to a fee. I just think it's amazing. I love this business model. Again, to me, I agree with Biotech 2K1. I do think it's a crazy valuation right now. It is .com levels types of valuation. But again, I go back to here, guys. I want to end this presentation, this video with this slide. You know, this is such a beautiful slide. It's such a beautiful image. I'm just blown away, right? Let's build the world we want to see, right? And you know, you don't have to live in a world where, you know, that's detrimental to certain people, certain communities, or certain ethnicities, or certain beliefs of people, or certain places. You can definitely live in a world where, you know, it benefits everyone, literally. And I want to see that. I want to see that. You guys know what I'm about on this channel. That's what we do. I just love that. And I do want to finish this video with this lawsuit that just got posted here earlier today. I read it, just went over it. If you guys know a little bit more information, let me know in the comments below about that. That's a bit crazy. The Shaw law firm announces investigating claims against Ginkgo Bioworks. That's not going to be fun to tackle, but it is what it is, guys. So I will end this video like this. Hopefully you guys appreciate this video. I wanted to go over the presentation. I wanted to go over a thread. Just to give you guys a little bit of color to what other people are saying, what we're seeing here. Let me know what you guys think about this company. Let me know if you think the earnings were good. Let me know what you think about Foundry. Let me know what you think about this slide here. I really want to hear from you guys in the comment section below. Again, thank you so much for watching. Destroy that like button if you found value. If you have not subscribed, please consider subscribing, and we will see each other's in tomorrow's video. Thank you so much for watching, and have a beautiful day or night. Thank you.